Welcome to Balance Me TV episode number 7. As always, you can get the high definition version on our website at www.boundless.me. Today we'll be taking a look at Curio by Zengobi Software. Alright, Curio is a note-taking, mind mapping, brainstorming, and task management application. It sounds like a lot, but what it does is it enables visual thinkers to put together their notes and sketches and project goals into one consolidated package and then manage it or present it. There are several things you can do with the information that you put into a Curio project. If you're familiar with Microsoft's OneNote, then you'll have an idea what Curio is about, although I'd argue that on the Mac platform, Curio is more powerful than OneNote on the Windows side. Alright, let's start with a quick tour of the interface. On the lower left, you have the project management or project center, and we'll explain a little bit about the icons and such later, but directly above that is the organizer. The organizer has all the idea spaces that make up a given project, and then maybe in a later screencast we'll go over ways to organize and leverage the power of the organizer. On the far right is the inspector. So as you select an object, it gives you multiple options and settings for each individual asset within a project. Now, it provides a very simplified way to present and get to a whole lot of options. It's a great asset to it. Finally, the idea space, which is this space in the center here, is where all the magic happens. But let's take a look at some of the key things that you can do with it. Alright, mind maps are, for me, what's the central focus of Curio, and it gives you a way to visually lay out your ideas and link follow-on ideas. You can use stream of consciousness, you can use flow charts, however it works best for you. You can see you can use color coding, you can collapse entire groups of nodes, you can include pictures, you can also lay out projects with due dates and use it as a project management tool. In this case, if we look here, you'll see the big idea at the center here it spans from August 21st to April 30th. Now that is set up here on the bar. You click start and you manually specify the start date, or you could do it automatically. You have a number of ways to do it, but in the case here, for example, the due date set automatically. What that buys you is something really cool. All the subnotes, when you change a date or duration for them, it automatically filters all the way back throughout the project. So if we went to UI design and changed it from 90 days to 120 days, the due date will go from April 30th now, if we come back over and look, to June 11th. You'll also note that the end time in UI design became the start time for the follow-on node. So it's a very smart piece of software. Okay, now let's look at a quick checklist. Each line of the checklist has a checkbox by it, and the magic of these checkboxes is that as you check off items, it will progressively fill in the parent checkbox, as you can see here. And then finally, this sample list gives you a feel for the kinds of things you include, which is just about everything. You can have images, you can have URLs that link to other websites, you can include PDFs, documents, and when you click on those, it'll open up in the host program. For example, if you had a Keynote in there, it would open up Keynote with that presentation for you. And then finally, you can have vCards from iCal. And the vCards from the address book. Okay, flags and metadata are just a way to add a visual indicator or clue to you as you look at your idea space, what's important or what you want to draw your eye to. So in this case, if we selected this asset, we could come over here to the Inspector tab, click on Meta, and then add whatever visual elements or flags that we want to the item. But what's really cool is then if you want to search for them, you can actually search for, as you see I'm doing here, specific flags. So in this case, I searched on the phone flag, and it doled out all the background information and brought right to the front what I was looking for. That's a real nifty feature. Okay, sticky lines. You can have a line that goes specifically to the center of an asset, for example in this case, and you see as I move it the line stays right in place. Another cool thing is that all the other lines that come off of connection points maintain the correct aspect as you move around your different assets. It's very simple to connect items. You just go to your lines, select the type of line you want. Let's say I want an arrow in this case. Find your connection point, as you see I'm doing here, and connect it to the other one. Now if I go back to the arrow, you'll note that again it is connected and it follows the asset as I move it around. Brushes and pens are another way to add information to your idea space. For example, if I were to come up here and click on paintbrush, I could simply freeform draw right on the idea space. For some people, this visual freedom allows you to communicate your ideas in a much better way. Now, figure styles. You saw in the very first tab when we looked at the mind maps what they were. You can see the collapsibility and all that remains. But if you look, we have two different ones here and they have very different styles. So if you had created, let's say you really like this chalkboard style and you want to apply it to your other figure, you just simply say format, copy style, format, paste style. But let's say you didn't want to use that at all. You wanted to use another one of the built-in styles. Then go to your inspector, click on figure, and down here you'll have a style mind map pop up that allows you to pick a different one. And let's say I want to pick blueprint in this case, and it'll change the style for me. Now suppose I went in, modified the type of text, changed what I wanted, and I wanted to keep that as a new style. Then I can just simply come over here and then save as, and I get the option to create a whole new style that I can apply to any of my other figures. Okay, let's take a look at web views and embedded objects. What you see here at the top is a Google search page. But what's cool about this is if I double click, I get taken right into the live site where I can search on information right inside of my web page. And this frame is fully adjustable. You can make it larger or you can leave it to a fixed size and then just scroll within the borders. You can also change your URLs very simply. Let's say I wanted to put the Drudge report as my new page. And here you go. You can see all the latest news right there. I just say save URL, click done, and give it a second, and now it's updated to be that website. You can also embed videos. So for example here I've embedded the trailer for Tropic Thunder. Now what you get, full audio and full ability to change and resize and interact with the object. You see I'm moving it around here, and I created this little banner, Great Flick Award, and as I showed you before, let's say I just want to connect a line right to it. Boom, got it. And now as I move it around, just like we talked about on the sticky lines, it stays right there with it, and then I can simply double click it again and it'll pick right up where it left off.